going kid. LeBron and the Lakers 0-4 to start this season. All right, Shannon, give us a deep dive here. What does this mean?
Well, look, I don't spend a whole lot of time trying to come up with an explanation for what he's trying to post or what he means by his post. I do think sometimes that when great players play for an extended period of time, we take their greatness for granted. I don't take LeBron James playing 20 years for granted. I'm not impressed. I mean, I guess I am somewhat impressed by LeBron James playing 20 years, Tom Brady playing 23 years. I'm very impressed with how well they're playing at that long period of time, Skip, because you can do a job for an extended period of time and not be very good at it. They happen to be great at what they're doing for a very, very long period of time. And this is an anomaly. We don't normally see players. Yeah, there have been players that played 20 plus years in the NBA, but none of them have played at this level with LeBron. Yeah, there have been a couple of players that played last 20 years, 20 plus years, but they're normally kickers or they don't play at the level that Tom Brady is celebrating. So that's what's most impressive. Yeah, it's somewhat impressive that you play, especially a professional sport at that long, because we know age and all of a sudden your lateral quickness and things like that, you're not the same player you were when you came into the league. But I just think the thing is LeBron is missing is, bruh, you're 0-4. People not going to give you credit. Like, okay, we take you for granted, but what are we taking for granted? If you were 2-2, maybe you're 3-1, maybe people would look at it different. You're 0-4. I don't even know if you come close to winning one game. You came close to beating Portland. And you should have won that ball game. But other than that, that's the only thing that I can think of. I do think that because LeBron James has done it for so long, he can't shoot the three like Steph. He doesn't have the pizzazz like a Jordan or a Kobe, but he's just consistent. He's just put the ball in the basket as good, if not better than anybody in the history of the game for 20 years. And we take that for granted because it's kind of like Mahomes. Mahomes gets so much credit because what? It's the flair. Brady doesn't get nearly the credit for throwing the football because it's just, I'm going to drop back, I'm going to throw the ball over the top. No, I'm not going to sidearm. No, I'm not going to change platforms. No, I can't roll left and throw the ball 60 yards down the field. I can't do any of that. And so I think that has a lot to do with it. People like pizzazz now. People like the and one move. People like the highlight, like he's in his bag. Very few times have you heard someone say LeBron is in his bag. You know, I say he's in his bag when he has a buku, but as far as just like handle the ball like a Steph or a Dame and some of these guys and pull up from 35, that's not there. So I just think he's frustrated because his season is not going the way he anticipated. Everybody's healthy. He said, okay, before we make a move with Russ, I mean, they've been talking about that. Russ wasn't, I wasn't healthy. AD wasn't healthy. Let's see if it worked. Well, everybody's healthy and it's not working. So I just think that's what it is, Skip. I think sometimes we do take him for granted, but I don't know what he meant by that. If that's what he meant by that post, he's elevating. He is up in the air. I mean, we don't normally see guys jumping that high at 20 years into the NBA career.
Okay. I hear everything you just said, and I appreciated the one point that you made. You deserve a large share of the blame for 0-4. So to me, when I saw this last night, it struck me as almost childlike pouting on social media because for the first time in a long time, he got heavily criticized, even by Shannon Sharp, who said yesterday, what was your line? It's one of the worst games, if not the worst regular season game you've ever seen him play.
That was on him. Yeah, that was on him, that game.
And so his response, he probably saw you say that. And it's like, even Shannon? Yeah. And so he posts, how long, he goes third person to himself, to the world. How long will you be taken for granted? As in, boy, you people are going to miss me when I'm gone. Yeah. Maybe I'll be gone before you know it here, but when I'm gone, you're going to really miss me. Well, there's some truth to that.
Yeah, of course.
But it's wrong place, wrong time because your team just stunk it up twice for sure the last two games. And he says, keep going, kid, referring to himself as a kid because I think he likes to still see himself as a kid. He likes to hang out with his sons because he feels like he's one of them still, where they can play against each other in the backyard and he can put his cap on backward and play kid-like basketball. Yeah. Okay, I get that. But it's childlike to pout about it at a time nobody wants to hear that right now.
Right.
It's classic blame deflection. I always say that Aaron Rodgers is the LeBron James of the NFL. So this is the LeBron James, who in many ways, to me, is the most overprotected superstar I've ever closely observed. And now he's begging for some sympathy here at a time. It's hard to dredge up much sympathy for him or for them.
Yeah, I mean, Skip, he's averaging 25 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists a year in year 20. But what has he got to show for it? He got an offer.
Okay.
And he hadn't played. Skip, he hadn't played well. It's as simple as that. LeBron, you're 0-4. Get them out of this hole.
Okay.
And then I think everybody will say, man, did you see what they started 0-4? They turned it around thanks to him.
Okay. So here are the facts. Through 4 games, early sample size, he's off to the races again from 3, where he's not very good. He is, to be nice about it, below average from 3.
Yeah.
So now he's made 9 of his first 35 three-point shots this year. That's 25.7%. That ranks 155th in the NBA out of 164 qualified, 155. Yet his attempts are a career high already, 8.8 per game. He was 8.0 last year, which was a career high. So it's going up, 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 and the 8.8 are now tied with Trae Young, who jacks them up like crazy. Right. Well, it's too many without cashing enough of them. The math doesn't work for me. And we saw it all last year when he had the 15th most attempts and wound up in free throw make percentage 93rd in the league. The math doesn't work for me. Okay, so he deserves some blame for that.
Yeah, of course he does.
Okay, so now let's go back to Sunday afternoon out here in L.A. They have an 8-point lead over Portland with 4:42 left. And they give up a 16-6 run down the stretch and lose by 2. It's unacceptable. It's what kept happening again and again last year to my distraction, because I kept watching these games and I'd say, LeBron, because I still have the highest regard for him, especially in year 19 or year 20, he's still playing at a high level. Well, I'm giving him enough respect that I say, if you're up 8 with 4:42 left and you're quarterbacking, you get it home. You just figure out how to get the game home. So what does he do right away? He takes a 3 at 3:55. That was to go up 9, and he missed it. And then there's the layup that he made, but then he comes right back and misses another 3 to put them back up 6. And then he gets the wide open dunk at the end. And then if we could see what happens, he's got a chance. He could go to the free throw line and maybe make the 2 to force overtime, but he opts for a high degree of difficulty with Dame on him. He shoots a fall away, as he is wont to do, and it doesn't even come close, and that's to tie the game. Okay, well, you deserve some blame for that because you're driving at will. I've said this his whole career. He's still, he just might still be the greatest driver of the basketball in the game today. I think he's all time for sure. But I'd watch him bully the Trailblazers. They couldn't keep him from the rim, and I'm like, well, just drive it in there and get fouled and go make the free throws. But he doesn't want to do that.
No, you can't do that for the entire game.
Okay, but I'm just saying, he didn't want any part of that, because we're going to talk about Ben Simmons. He's not Ben Simmons, but he doesn't trust himself at the late game free throw line, while Ben doesn't trust himself at the early game free throw line. But the point is, then we get to Denver, and I'm thinking there's no Russ. And it was this supreme silver platter opportunity for LeBron and AD and everybody else on the floor to say, hey, we're going to show you.
Right.
The cloud is sitting over on the bench right now. Right. So the cloud has been lifted off us. It is our opportunity, albeit at Denver against a very good team, to make a statement.
Right.
And the statement was, like LeBron weirdly seemed disengaged. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he's feeling ill or something.
Skip, he said he wasn't aggressive.
Yeah.
Skip, if you're 3-0 at that point in time, you say, you know what, we're on the road. Let me get the other guy. But in a situation like you're over, and over, you take the bull by the horns.
Okay. And let's just remind those who didn't see the game, if we could see his 8 turnovers, this shocked me because this is so uncharacteristic of him. This is that hit AD in the knee. This is LeBron freaking James. And I don't see this from him. This is where you're not focused. You know, you didn't come ready to play this basketball game. For whatever reason, I don't know. Is something going on off the floor I don't know about? It could be. He just wasn't there mentally in this game. So I don't know. 8 turnovers? LeBron, that's just complete careless turnover. LeBron, come on. You're better. You're better than that. You know it. Not. Come on. I mean, I still think he's the best passer in basketball. So for me, I think we're almost to the end here. I feel like we're piling on at this point. That's bad. That looked like vintage Westbrook.
Yeah, he got up in there and didn't have
with nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so the point is, it was almost like he turned into Westbrook on the floor.
Skip, maybe he had a more compelling argument if another game he goes for 45, 50, and they don't win the ball game.
Yeah.
But that was the wrong time. You had 8 turnovers. In that ball game, you were 8 of 21. And you can't say people taking you for granted when you have a game like that.
No, I don't even get it. But it's pouty. It's like the message is, hey, at some point, fairly soon, I won't be here anymore, and you people are going to miss me. Yeah. Well, we will. But that doesn't have anything to do with what just happened. What just transpired in back-to-back games.
Skip, the Lakers are the only team that's averaging under 100 points per 100 possessions. They're 97. By contrast, the Mavericks are averaging 123. Let that sink in for a second. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
97 in today's NBA, where it's up and down, and you'd like 97?
Okay. So I think it's a Darvin Ham factor that they are still 4th overall in defensive efficiency. I mean, that's shockingly good to me. I didn't see that coming.
You're not winning, Skip.
Okay.
You can't be, I don't care how great defensively you are in any sport. If you're historically bad on offense, you're not going anywhere.
And they're historically